Thank you
For what, Shumai?
for wanting to be here with me.
Mm-hmm. Kaito! Shuichi gasped as Kaito punched my cheek. I coughed a bit, but this was nothing compared to the trouble I would get into with dice. I need to teach this lying shit that he can't just... I was actually waiting for him to come up with a bullshit problem I was causing, but then Shuichi cut him off. I could tell he was getting anxious about us fighting again. I felt a little bad, but Kaito just always gets on my nerves. He can't just what, Kaito? Kaito stopped in his tracks and dropped my scarf, making me fall to the floor. I held my hand to my cheek. This is going to bruise. Well... Kaito just moved his hand to the back of his neck and sighed. I don't know, he was just getting on my nerves. Kaito huffed, making me laugh. I got glares from everyone throughout the dining hall. That's no reason to punch someone. Kaito shrugged. Shuichi just sighed, sitting next to me on the floor for a split second. He seemed calm for a moment, before he tensed and grabbed my arm and brought me into the hall. Hey, are you two going to fuck? Miu yelled from the dining hall, making both of us groan. Well, Shuichi, where are you taking me? I teased, grabbing his hand in mine. Well, he said, irritated. I haven't seen this side of him before. I can't lie, it was horribly adorable. And entertaining. I was going to take you to the nurse's office because you're always getting hurt. He gripped my hand tightly, making me flinch a bit. Maybe I went too far, but why is he that worried about me anyways? Me and Kaito never get along. The others don't like me either. But seeing what I always tell them, and how I'm lying all the time, I don't blame them. Well, Kaito and I just never get along. And he's so hot-headed and an overall dumbass that he can't control himself when he gets mad. I laughed after my statement, but he just frowned at me again. Geez, tough crowd. You shouldn't say that about him. Shuichi sighed and quickly patched up my cheek. He pulled me up and out of the office. Thank you, Shuichi, I'm all patched up. I took his hat off his head, making him gasp. His face was red, but I finally got to see his gorgeous eyes. I didn't notice I was staring until he took his hat back and left with a huff. I shook my head a couple of times. It's weird for him to be so huffy and angry. Well, I guess it can't be helped. Shuichi, you are so interesting to me. I want to be able to figure you out. I was talking to myself and didn't notice that someone was behind me. Hey, Okokichi! I jumped and almost screamed when I saw Monokuma behind me. He was just smiling with that sadistic grin he always has. Monokuma, what are you doing here? I said in my normal teasing tone. He smiled more and laughed. Well, since all you assholes aren't killing anyone, I'm making a new motive. And I'm sure you are going to love it, he said before disappearing as quickly as he appeared. That was weird. What does he mean by that? Does he know about my crush on Shuichi? I mean, if I think about it, I am being pretty obvious about it. Hey, Kokichi, what were you talking about with Monokuma? Kiba was standing by the wall with Miu drooling beside him. She must think we were doing something dirty. Oh god. He just said there was going to be another motive soon, I exclaimed, putting my hands behind my head. They both gave me a suspicious look, but just shrugged. How do we know you aren't lying about that? Kibo gave me a glare before Miu recovered from whatever she was drooling about before. Well, I bet he saw you and Puichi fuck, so he wants to use it as blackmail. She started laughing while me and Keyboy just rolled our eyes. Well, I don't want to waste any more of my time talking to you, cum dumpster, I yelled before turning on my heel and skipping away. I heard Miu moan loudly as I walked away. She's such a nasty fucker. I walked back to my dormitory because it was free time, so what's the point of wasting any more time with them? I need to take some time to myself anyways. Shuichi is still angry with me because of earlier. Should I go and apologize? I walked into my room, only to hear a knock moments after I went to sit on my bed. I walked over to the door with a groan. And it was Shuichi. His hat was covering his face, and it made me frown that I couldn't see his eyes. Shuichi, are you here to confess to me? I teased, making him blush. I love seeing him blush. He is just so shy. It's so cute. No, I just want to talk to you. He cut himself off. I could tell he wanted to say something else, but I think my teasing cut him off. About what, Saihara-chan? I tilted my head and tried to see under his hat, but couldn't. He sighed and held his hand out to me. Oh? I asked, taking his hand. He took me into the courtyard and brought me to sit under a tree in the grass. I was confused why he took me out here, but it was nice to have some fresh air. So, he cut me off by putting his hand on my mouth. I blushed, but hid my blush quickly. I wanted to ask you if you could stop getting hurt, because I don't want you getting hurt, he whispered under his breath. I blushed knowing that he cared about me. I'll try, but no promises, I teased him again, not letting my mask slip off any farther. I like being able to just talk to him like this, but I can't let my guard down.